I got it. I can teach him.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep. So, um, yeah. So this week we did start a new project. Have you talked to anybody? Have you heard what we've been doing?
No, I just looked at the email you sent about voiceovers, and I watched
Um,
some of the videos.
oh, okay. Well, then I guess I won't play them again. So, did you watch all of them by chance? Which ones did you watch?
I watched the lady and a little
Mhm.
bit of the guy from Star Wars,
Oh, okay.
and I
Cool.
read your green eggs and I listened to your green eggs and ham.
Oh, see, so she's pretty much caught up. I'm gonna still show you in detail what I did, but yeah, so you're well versed with what we did. Yeah, and so to connect all the pieces, why I had you watch Tara Strong and the Foley artist and how that ties in with Green Eggs and Ham is essentially uh both of those are end possible end goals as careers for
Mm-hmm.
what the project Green Eggs and Ham stands for. So within Green Eggs and Ham, I did the voice acting, which was Tara Strong's part. That was me reading the book and the way that I was trying to do things with my voice to try to make it
Mm-hmm.
believable as two different people. That was me doing her part, and then I didn't quite do what a Foley artist does because I used clips of audio and put them in. I was more in the role of a music producer, but
Mm-hmm.
the project was open to that, as somebody doing that project. And if you wanted to record a door closing, or if you wanted to record something else to incorporate into it, you are playing the role of a Foley artist. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so outside of just learning the skills and what was going into the project, those are just possible career goals that are career outcomes that people aren't, all that aware of, that, these are things that people do full time. And make a lot of money doing actually. And
Mm.
as Tara Strong said, she's had a very, very fun career. you know,
Yeah, it's been a long time.
yeah. And so we're just kind of exposing everybody to career options that are different out there, as well as teaching you new skill. And the cool thing about this project is it really incorporates just about everything we've done thus far in the class, just because there's a music portion, there's a talking portion, because it's similar to the podcast project. So yeah, I'm gonna share my screen and we'll get into what I did. So you've already listened to the entire to the whole story, so I won't play it again if you've already listened to it. But uh and as
I
usual,
think that takes a gift too, to be able to change your voice in so many different ways. To me, yeah, because everybody, I don't think can do that.
don't
To
you
me,
do you sing?
yeah.
Oh yeah, same thing. That's all it is. That's all it is. Um if you ever listen to TV, especially like uh what are they called? Soap operas
Mm-hmm.
or like sitcoms, anything that's super scripted TV,
Mm-hmm.
if you
Mm-hmm.
ever like listen through it through a wall to where you can't hear the words, it sounds
Mm-hmm.
like melodies going back and forth, because all they're
Okay.
doing is, raising the pitch and inflection of the voice, which is the same thing singers do. So
Mm-hmm.
you're just doing the same thing, instead of making it all connected and singy songy, you just say it. Which is, kind of part of the reason why I even chose the book that I chose, because I didn't have to put effort into making a rhythm to Green Eggs and Ham. It's written into it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if
Mm-hmm.
I had picked something in some Royal Dahl novel, well, actually, he does rhyme stuff. But if I had just picked something in a random novel, then maybe it would have been a little bit harder for me to try to get a flow to
Mm-hmm.
without that wasn't already there. So um,
I mean, I guess when I say it takes a gift, I'm talking about to the extent where she can change and sound like a baby, and she can change and sound
uh,
like a totally different person. Because as far as dynamics go, like I do the announcements for my church, so
mm,
I literally type a script because I really sometimes I can't just wing it. So I'll read it, but so that it doesn't sound so boring, I do have to go up. Like if I said congratulations, happy birthday to yada yada yada, then I go like happy birthday to
Yeah.
Lisa Smith. Lisa, you know, I know how
Hmm.
to do that. But I
Yeah.
was just talking about like changing it like to like the chipmunks or something.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely, definitely. You're right. I get what you're saying now. It's definitely a much more advanced level. But yeah. Um yeah. So yeah, definitely that. And then and in my project, I don't think I did, a whole lot of voice changing. I felt like I kind of kept it pretty simple. I mean, I don't know. um but yeah, so just a quick overview of what I did. I know my project looks like, it's super detailed and I did a whole lot, but I want to, stress that this project can be done in 3 tracks. I
Hmm.
did, if you wanted to do it in 3 tracks, your first track would be just you reading the passage. You cut up the audio, space it how you need it to, then you add your music, and then you do your sound effects. And you can do it
Hmm.
all on one track for each one. You could put all your reading, all your narration on one track. You put all your music on one track, and then you put all your sound effects on one track. And that you could have done it in three. But I was trying to, really show what this project could be, so I went into more detail and tried to break it up. But so the first thing that I did in going through is I cut it up and I split all the tracks into different voices. So the first one is the narration, the second one is Sam I Am, and I later learned that the guy Sam I Am was talking to, his name is Guy I Am. I didn't know that at the time that I originally did this, but yeah, so his name is Guy I Am, and one of the first things, so I went through and chopped it up. And first, I'm listening to the spacing of how I wanted to space them. Or actually, no, I take that back. I didn't space it right away. I went back and was listening to myself, and I edited out any parts that I messed up, because when I recorded it, I didn't stop when I messed up. I just went straight through. And then I also redid any lines that I didn't feel that I did with enough enthusiasm, anything that sounded flat or sounded too much like I was just reading off of a piece of paper. So where I did the spacing was after I started adding music. So went through, I cut it up, I did my spacing, and just so I can show you on here, when you are cutting these regions, you want to highlight the region, and I believe on BandLab it's S. Yes, S. S split this clip, and I'm actually going to move this one down because this goes here. So that's how I was just going through and cutting it up. I was just placing the placehead where I needed to and just tapping that S button and cutting it along. And so when it came to my music, I really like DAWs like this where they have a loop library for this reason, because often before you've even heard it, it tells you what you're about to hear. And I went in, I was like looking for music, and I went to all loops first, and I was like genres. Cinematic was my first look because I mean, I'm trying to make it, movie like. A lot of the things that are going to be in cinematic are going to feel dramatic. They're going to be leading up to an event. So I knew I'd probably find something that I was looking for in there. And lo and behold, the first thing that caught my eye was this word worrisome. I was like, oh, that's perfect because that's Sam I Am's character. I mean, this guy
Hmm.
is worrisome. He's like, why don't you try these green eggs and ham? I mean, you'll try them with a fox, you'll try them over here, there, da da da. So, I mean, so before I had even listened to it, it kind of already let me know this is what I was looking for. And it just, it fit perfectly. I'll play a little bit of it. I am Sam. I am Sam. Sam I am. That Sam I am. That Sam I am. I do not like that Sam I am. Would you like green eggs and ham? I do not like them, Sam I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. So the other thing I forgot to mention is to differentiate with characters. Um, when with the panning that I have up here, this left and
Hmm.
right, I had my Sam I Am more. I had him 14 degrees to the left, and Guy I Am was 16, or should have been 14 to the right. Should be 14 to the right. So that way you can't hear it on the Zoom call, but if you were listening on headphones or in a stereo field, you would hear one person talking, and you can feel them going
Mm.
back and forth. Um, so that was another benefit of me pulling it out like this. So and then moving forward, again, I loved the loop library for this reason because this line right here,
Say, in the dark?
when he said in the dark, I was like, okay, mood change. And all I did was I kind of stayed, I think I stayed near in the cinematic area. Maybe I didn't, but I just typed in the word dark and flipped through that loop library until I found dark tension rhythm. And it fit exactly what I was looking for. Like, you can feel the mood change from here. I like the way the music fades from the previous mood into the new question. I'm gonna play this transition real quick.
Anywhere. I do not eat green eggs and ham. I do not like them. Sam, I am. Say, in the dark? Here, in the dark. Would you, could you, in the dark? I would not, could not, in the dark. Would you, could you, in the rain? I would not, could not, in the rain.
So you can yeah, definitely see there that, I mean, again, I didn't do a whole lot here. I just was looking for
How
cues
do you
and
fade?
the fade. So great question. The best way to do this is to double click. What I just did is I double clicked the region that I wanted to fade.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and when it's highlighted, this editor will pop up, and when it's highlighted, these little white bars on either side of the region,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
that's how you click and drag it, and that will fade it in,
Oh, okay.
and this one right here will fade it out. And you
Okay.
can adjust it as much as you like to. You can, and then on the end, these also adjust how long the clip is and
Oh,
things like
okay.
that. Mhm.
Thanks.
Yep, absolutely. I did mine with automation, which was a little more tedious, and probably should have done it the way I just showed you. But um, my automation is right here. You can see
Mm-hmm.
I went in and just cut down the volume on that and brought it back up. So, but yeah, and continuing through the music, I mean, I just listened to the narration and I went through my loop library finding things that match that, because here I had the caution strings right here, and these strings fit what I felt like was the peaking point before the climax. Like, we are on the teeter totter of right before we start to go to the downhill drop of the roller coaster. Like, caution, 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 because it's right before the moment before he actually tries the green eggs and ham. And as he eats them and he starts to like them, the the vibe of the music is much more vibrant and positive. So
Mm-hmm.
even here, good time strings and showman strings, and you can just by the words tell what the music sounds like before you've even listened to a single note,
Mm-hmm.
which I think that's the most beneficial thing of the loop library in this type of scenario. So instead of, because you can sit here and click randomly and audition, put loop after loop after loop for a half an hour just trying to find one piece. But if you don't, if you at least think of words that describe what you're looking for and type them in there, or just look in there, then it can become a little bit easier to find what you're looking for. And then my last step, after I got my music in place, so I had my narration and my music in place. I specifically chose the words that repeated in the story. I thought that would be the most ideal to put sound effects to. If I was doing, a scary story, then I'd probably be trying to, find the sound effects that would be trying to scare it. But so every time that guy I am, the response, when he repeats the words that Sam I am said, that's where I put all my effects. So when he's like, "Would you do it in a boat? Would you do it with a goat?" And a guy I am is like, "No, I wouldn't do it with a boat." And that's when you hear the boat. "No, I wouldn't eat it with a goat." And that's when you hear the goat. So and I thought, especially with this being for kids, like that would be the fun of it, hearing all the sounds with each step. So unfortunately, sound effects, the sound effects that are on this BandLab are I did not find any of these on BandLab. I actually had to go to YouTube and download these off of YouTube. I just typed in, like, if I was looking for a house, I did a door closing. I just typed in door closing sound effect or a train sound effect, a boat sound effect. The ones that I did use from BandLab are the ones that I did for here and there. And so I'll let you hear how they sound when he says here and there. So, and I panned those as well, hard left and hard right. So it's like here or there. And so you get the dramatic effect of one feeling like it's here or over there. And
How do you use the sound effects off of YouTube? You have to upload it or some download it?
yes, I can show you that real quick. So if you once you find the sound effects, so like when I went in and I was looking for door closing sound effect, um you I found like one that I liked. So if I clicked this one and then you take the URL from it, I copy
Mm-hmm.
that and I use what's called a YouTube converter.
Mm-hmm.
But the one I use is called YouTube to MP3, and you can basically convert any YouTube video to either MP3 or MP4. You
Oh,
type
okay.
it. Yep. You
Is that
type
free?
yes.
Okay.
Paste your URL in. You'll hit convert, and then it'll give you a download link to click whenever it's done. Just like that, it'll download,
Oh,
and then
okay.
yeah, so that's one way. The difficulty of that is if you accidentally get something that's not royalty free, that's the downfall. So really, the other place is the public domain is really the best place to look for stuff for really anything, images, sounds, video,
Oh,
film. You can search the public domain right here, creativecommons.org. It's a good one. These are just, people who just donate anything that they make. Like, hey, I want anybody to be able to use. You don't have to pay me, and that way you don't have to worry about if you ever are making something for church that's being streamed live or things like that. You don't want it to get snatched for that reason. You need to write it down. You want me to stay here for a second?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Creativecommons.com.
.org.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's just one of the websites. Let's see, public. Let's see, public domain. There's another one here. Copyright program. No. But yes, I probably should bring some more information to class about this next Tuesday. But yeah, when you borrow sounds and things like that, it is quite important actually. Depending on what you're doing. I mean, honestly, if you're making something just for your fun at home,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
nobody cares. Nobody's gonna come after you. But for
Right.
church, if you're doing it for church, and especially if church is recorded in any way, you would want to make sure that you get royalty free. But they have everything up there. You talking about pictures, to video, to sounds, to
Okay.
yeah, you can just go up there and find things that are copyright. So if I hadn't used YouTube, that was the other. I think I did actually get two of my sounds from there. I don't remember which ones.
Mm-hmm.
But yep, that's another option.
Hey,
Okay.
And
hey, just to add
yes.
to that, you can also, if you click on Google when you're doing a Google search, for instance,
Hmm.
and if you click on tools, no, sorry, settings. Is it settings or tools? Okay, tools. Nope, settings. My bad. Let me do a search. Let me stop playing. Do a search. Hold on. And if you're doing images, you can actually go to, like, say if you're on images,
Hmm.
and you click on images in tool, and then you go to tools, and it asks you colors and stuff like that. But it says type, excuse me, time usage
Usage
right.
rights.
It says usage rights.
Oh, I
So you can
see.
actually click on this label for use with modification, label for reuse, labeled for non-commercial reuse, lab non-commercial reuse. See, so then the one for labeled reuse. So that means you can reuse it for anything. So you click on that
Oh,
search, and now everything that you get on that you should be able to reuse.
Wow. Okay.
Problem.
Learn something
That's
new.
good
That's
to know.
very useful. Yes.
Yep.
Thank
And like you can also click color if you're looking for something for a specific color to match your website, or if you're looking for size meaning the how large you want the want it to be. If you're looking for a GIF file, a transparent background, you can click on color and use transparent, and it will give you all of the and you're still labeled for reuse, so you can use any of that.
wow. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Man.
And that was where that was at images under what?
Google
Yeah.
search, and
Right.
you can do the same thing on the Yahoo search. Yahoo actually has their own Creative Commons too. So if you go Yahoo, uh, if you search Google and say Yahoo Creative Commons, Yahoo Creative Commons, it will take you to the Yahoo search for Creative Commons, and in there you can find a whole lot of stuff too.
Oh, okay. So if I wanted like a bicycle picture.
And for also for videos and stuff like that, you can go to Cover, Coverr. So if you wanted,
Still under Yahoo.
no, this is another website. It's called
Oh,
Coverr.
.com.
Just put Cover right now because it's .co,
Oh, okay.
right?
Mm,
And you can search in there. Just be careful because some the usually on the top of the paid ones. Oh no, the unpaid ones come in on the first ones. The ones you don't have to pay for. All this stuff, backgrounds. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see all those are backgrounds you can use on websites, and they're
mm.
video. So if you click on them, they have video, and they also have the picture of. They have the picture if you want to just a picture of that, but they're
Oh, okay.
little videos that you can use as backgrounds and stuff like that for websites. And they have a ton of that stuff, and it's all free. And
Oh wow.
they put about 7 new videos out a week.
Wow.
Hmm. And it's all high res, and they're beautiful. They're gorgeous.
Yeah, that does look
Cool.
nice.
Yep.
Man, the things you learn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm the king of inexpensive,
And that's something.
not cheap. Notice I didn't say I don't like anything cheap, but I do like affordable, and I do like inexpensive,
Right. That's a good way to be.
but not cheap. I like free too, but not cheap free. Okay.
So, I think that mostly covered everything I did. I think the only other thing I missed was I did put an effect on my Sam I Am voice, and the effects were in here and right here. I've got a compressor, a reverb, and I played with the EQ a little bit. And actually, that's because these are presets. So maybe I did that fast. I'll show you how I got here again. On my track head, I clicked the mic, and that brought up this editor down here, and then I checked my FX effects, FX editor, and the presets were right here. So if I, any of these presets, they all have different names and kind of describe what they do. So you can change how they sound. So right now I have it on high and bright. So like if I wanted to echo, this probably has echo or delay on.
Would you like them in a house? Would you like them with a mouse?
Yeah. Or if I, let's see, what's a scoop sound like? It's a hi-fi scoop.
Would you like them in a house? Would you like them with a mouse?
Yeah. So yeah, so there you have it. Again, 3 steps. This project can be done in 3 steps. You don't have to go in as much detail as I did, but the first one I did was I read through the book or read through my story front to end, front to back, and you don't have to do a story like I did, this can easily be done with Bible verses. You know, you could definitely do this with a conversation with God or somebody else, or even with different characters in the Bible. Comic books work really good for this as well. And or even just, you know, a novel that you're reading, a fictitious novel that you're reading, you just pull a couple pages out and do this. And even aside from this, if you know, if you're looking to improve your reading or your public speaking skills, this is a great way to practice those things as well. This is a actually a way that younger kids learn how to improve their reading as they record themselves reading books and listening to themselves. So this can help your public speaking and your reading. And yeah, I think that was it. So uh thanks for listening to my project. And Douglas, did you or Anthony, did you have anything else y'all wanted to add?
Yeah.
Do you see me?
Hmm?
No, I was just wondering if the video was. If you can see me. I just have to move this over here. I know of one tool that off of YouTube
Mm-hmm.
that is a Creative Commons tool where they offer you sounds or complete songs to be able to incorporate them into your videos that are royalty free. I
Oh,
just
okay.
wanted to look for it so that I could tell you how to get there.
Oh,
But
sure.
that is a thing I knew about that one. So that's why
Okay, cool.
I'm
Yeah.
pulling.
All this time I've been looking for. I was actually looking for my. I guess it's on my other computer. I just sent a computer into Apple, and it must be on that computer. It's on one of my backup drives. I was trying to look for um, the thing I did with the Equalizer, the movie The Equalizer. What I did was I had taken out all the audio, and I did my own ADSR on that.
Mm.
It came out pretty good. Not ADSR, A,
ADR.
ADR. Thank you. Look at the acronyms, man.
Is definitely a musical term. It's just a little different than ADR.
Yeah,
Mm.
ADSR synthesizers.
Yeah. Attack, delay, sustain, and release.
Yep, or compressors.
Yes.
Yes.
Bingo, bango, bongo. Let's see. Where is this tool? Tool. Okay, create here. Upload video.
So YouTube. You said it was called YouTube Creative Commons. Oh, I see. YouTube Creative Commons Music.
Yeah, I'm trying to navigate to it.
Oh, it's this. Is it this audio library right here? Library.
I think I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, they've got sound effects up here too. I'm gonna drop this link in the chat if anybody wants to uh save it for later. Cause this I know.
Thank you for finding it so quickly. For a long time.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Cause let's see, what do they have? They got a jet flying by.
And excuse me.
Oh, it even tells you what category it's in. Like that one says Foley. It says ambiance, it says horror, emergency. There's a gun. Yeah, that sounds very real. Basketball. Battle agony moans, like a battle going on.
Those are neat. I like those.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
And there's free music too. Let's see, Song of Sadana. Winner, winner, funky chicken dinner.
That Michael Jackson sound.
Wow. So there you have it.
Yeah, there's a lot of free stuff around, for real. It's getting easier and easier to search it.
Yes. Which is important because you want to make sure that you use royalty-free stuff. I want to stress that you use royalty-free stuff. And I mean, and I say that because I mean, even as we've been doing these classes, when Douglas and I have been showing the YouTube videos in class, we've learned that we've had to stop the recordings and play the videos for the class, and then resume the recordings because we are actually playing material that's copyrighted or copywritten. And so when we replay it and stream it from our page, that's essentially copying or reproducing that same product that they made. So you have to they're just saying to us that we have to take it down, and that we can't profit off, we can't make any money off of it either. So if we were using royalty free stuff, we wouldn't be getting hit from YouTube saying that, hey, can't play that video or things like that. So yeah, comes in handy, especially when it comes to money.
Right. The for instance, the young lady that we had up there, that she was a voiceover expert. They actually blocked our class video on YouTube. They actually blocked it. You know, you could not see it. It could not be published. So that's why I had asked Jordan to go on and edit out that part. If and basically they have a tool. It just, if you just click it yes, it edits out the part for you and slaps it together. The problem, the problem part of the video.
Yeah. Yeah, fortunately, we weren't making money off of it, because if we had made money off of it, then we probably would have been in more trouble.
Yeah. So we got to be very careful. We got to be, I thought I thought we would get around it because you're not supposed to do it at all. But sometimes they don't bother you if you're a nonprofit and using it for education, you know. But
Mhm.
YouTube has changed so much. But years ago, only like 4 or 5 years ago, we could have posted that being that I'm registered as a nonprofit and in education, they wouldn't hit us for it because they know we're not doing it for profit or anything like that. Matter of fact, it's an honor for some of the people's stuff as examples, but they don't care. I guess it's too much for them to make that differentiation, so they just now X'd it out for everything. So it was a
Mm.
learning process for us. But even Vicky, even in the songs that we do, the cover songs that we do, literally the church should be paying BMI, ASCAP, and CSAC for
Mm-hmm.
reproducing those songs.
Yeah.
And if we put the lyrics up on the screen, we have to put you're supposed to put who it's by, the words and lyrics by. It's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be at the bottom of those sheets to do it, in the legal way, because when we put out our own stuff, we want royalties from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We
Yep.
want to get paid, so uh,
Mhm.
we should be paying, that kind of thing. And it's less for nonprofits. It's not at the same rate for nonprofits it is for in churches as it is for um, other venues, but still there is a fee. And there you have it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Is there any questions or thoughts or anything from today's lesson?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fun one. Whenever if you get the chance or whenever that if you participate with it, please share. We love to hear what you do because you've done great stuff in the past.
I
Yeah.
try. I try.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have
So
you have you played around with BandLab? Yes, you did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. How do you like BandLab compared to this is a different question. You can turn off the
gotcha.
uh, video. How do you like it? What's your comparison to the both? What do you think?
I mean, obviously, BandLab has more options as far as song choices and beats and stuff like that. I think it's easier to me, and I don't know if it's because I was introduced to the other one, Soundtrap, but
Hmm.
I find myself it's easier to like he did, like type in a word for a search to get that type of sound that you're looking for. I think I used it once or twice when I did that presentation last week. So that
Hmm.
that was easier to do instead of like listen to each one. It kind of narrows it down some.